Hi there, my name's Imali Quinn, and I am the current board chair for Signs of Hope. So I've been on the board since 2017. Was back when I joined. It kind of seems like a lifetime, but also a blur. Essentially, I joined. My mother was the longest serving advocate for Signs of Hope. I've actually gone through three different name changes with the agency. And so essentially it's an opportunity for me to kind of carry on her legacy, but also bring awareness and just really kind of keep the topic of sexual assault and human trafficking in the light. It's still very much a taboo and kind of stigmatized topic of discussion. And so we've made quite huge strides in this area, but there's still so much work that needs to be done. As I mentioned, it's still a very stigmatized topic of discussion. And so because of that, I always feel like we're kind of like the underdogs when it comes to like charitable giving and fundraising and things like that. It's always easy to want to donate to the cute kids and the cute puppies and the animals and, things like that. But when we talk about this type of work, it can be somewhat of a harder sell. And so, the donations and the charitable givings go a long way. And so it's always just important to kind of keep that topic of discussion out there. The more we talk about it and bring awareness to it and do the outreach for it to really get people never comfortable that it's happening, but comfortable enough to have the conversation that it is actually happening in real life. It's happening in our communities, in our neighborhoods, and the work can't continue without the funding that we need to get the job done. So my mother she's Way Hill. She was or is the longest serving advocate for Signs of Hope. She did pass away in 2016, but essentially this agency came into her life and ultimately our life back in 1994. It was work that she was extremely passionate about, and whenever there was the major calls, she was specifically requested to come out. It was something that she really just took a liking to, and I think as a kid growing up, we don't always understand what this is about. It was my introduction into being of service to others, because being able to watch her give herself and her time selflessly to countless number of people in this community was a really big deal. I'd say the latter part of her career was she really focused on what's known as the PREA program. So she was going into the different prisons and the different jails throughout the community, and she facilitated programs in these institutions to be able to work with inmates who were either sexually assaulted or abused, sexually abused in some capacity, and really helping people kind of heal from that trauma. A lot of times they're considered the forgotten population, right? People only focus on the reason why they're in there and not really what they did to get there, but not maybe everybody has a story. So really kind of helping people kind of heal and grow from that. And it was a very interesting dynamic, but she did it really well. And she was her passion for that was just unmatched. And I think it's something that I knew, but I think her passing really kind of brought light to that, right? Because I was hearing from people, whether it was folks who are in the industry or people that she's even helped, people were finding me on social media, reaching out to me, just kind of letting us know the impact that she had on people. And I know even in her final months, instead of her focusing on getting herself better, her focus was, this is what I'm doing when I get out of the hospital. And when I beat this thing, because she was she fought cancer at that time. And it was never about the cancer. It was about, I got to get out of here because there's work to be done. And I think that says a lot about who she was as a person, as well as other folks. When I look at our staff, everyone's here because they've got that passion and that commitment and that dedication to our community. And so that's kind of where it brought me in. And it's you don't just let that legacy die with her, right? There's work to be done. So I'm fortunate enough and honored to be in a position where we can carry on that work for her.